the punishment isn't enough. It's unacceptable. It shouldn't be happening in this day and age. Punishment has to be maximal. There has to be something else done.
Antoine, thank you so much for your time. An incident like what happened to you last weekend, at any time is obviously shocking, but the first 30 minutes into a new season makes it even more so, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, to be honest. I feel like there was so much emotion behind the game. Obviously Jota and his brother passing, so I felt like it was just a great way to symbolise like the first game of the season, and obviously 30 minutes in, like unexpected happened, to be honest. So pretty shocked.
What went through your mind when it did happen?
A lot of things, to be honest. I think I wanted to react, but I knew that wasn't the right thing to do, so I just stayed calm. And I knew when the ball went out again, I just informed the referee of what happened.
So you immediately thought, I have to do something about this?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I wasn't going to stay silent. I think some players end up telling the referee after the game, where the fan is still in the stadium or maybe left by then, but I made sure that I told him straight away.
And you were very calm over the whole thing?
Yeah, very calm. I'm not usually that calm when things like this happen, but I knew that was the right thing to do in that moment.
How did it make you feel, what he said?
It was pretty sad to hear, to be honest. I feel like in this day and age, we're still, us players, getting racially abused, and it just doesn't make sense, and we just want to know why it keeps happening. But yeah, it was pretty painful to hear, I must say.
A lot of people will say you were very brave to report it to the referee, to have the game stopped. Is that the way you see it?
I feel like it was the right thing to do. I wasn't going to hide away, like I said. I feel like the referee had to know what was going on, and I feel like if I didn't say anything, it would have played on my mind. So I feel like I've done the right thing.
And what was going through your mind in between the time when it happened and before you could tell the referee?
I just wanted the ball to go out of play as quick as possible, if I'm honest. And obviously Liverpool were keeping the ball. But yeah, as soon as the ball went out, went straight away to the referee, let him know what happened, and yeah, he went to the fourth officials and just went from there.
During that time, or afterwards, did you think about what the ramifications might be?
I did, but I think I was so focused on the game, so I just made sure I reported it, and whatever be would be. So I knew that the police and the stewards and stuff were doing doing whatever they needed to do on the side, so I just wanted to continue with the game.
And of course you made a huge impact in the game. Was that partly fueled by what happened?
Yeah, I got in at half time and I was pretty angry, to be honest. Like, I think I got to the realization of what actually happened. But yeah, use it as fuel, use it as motivation, and yeah, there's 2 goals. You could say it came from that.
Have you ever been concerned in the past about a potential backlash if you have a bad game on social media or in stadium?
I mean, every player goes through a good game and every player goes through a bad, so I'm not really concerned about what people have to say. Everyone has their own opinions, but I think I'm the person, I'm the player, I need to make sure I react for the next game, so I'm not too concerned on what they say.
Were you happy with how everything worked out?
No, 100%,
last weekend?
100%. I feel like everyone's been so supportive, family, friends, players, everyone's been so supportive, and I can't thank them enough.
Your captain said after the game you looked down.
Yeah.
Is that a fair reflection on how you were in the changing room after everything had finished?
Yeah, there was a lot of emotion. I felt like I wanted to do something. If I'm honest, I felt like I wanted to say something back. I knew what I'd done was the right thing to do, but I feel like once I processed everything in the change room, I was just like, nah, this isn't right. So I did feel some emotions and I was down a little bit.
Do you find it sometimes hard to understand why still here in 2025 that you as a black footballer are open to this sort of abuse? Yeah,
it's mind-boggling, to be honest. I feel like the punishment isn't enough when things like this happen. So I feel like with what's happening now, I feel like there has to be great punishment. I feel like going forward as well, for any players that I've met might have experienced it, they shouldn't shy away from reporting and make sure that the punishment is maximum, because it's unacceptable. It shouldn't be happening in this day and age.
And do you think that's one of the most important tools towards trying to make progress here?
Yeah, 100%. The punishment has to be maximal. I feel like people do get away with it. I feel like us having the Football Association here is definitely a help. In other countries, other players go through things like this and they don't have the support system that I do. So I'm just speaking out for all players that if it does happen, make sure that the maximum punishment is something that happens.
And what would you say that maximum punishment is?
Could be jail time, it could be banned from stadiums for a lifetime, it could be anything along the lines of that. But I feel like there has to be something else done.
Because it seems like we've had a lot of campaigns, a lot of outrage in the past 10 years, but it's still happening.
Yeah, I feel like those campaigns, they've worked for a while, but for the long term, it hasn't really worked. So I feel like something else needs to be done.
The other thing that happened is, obviously you put out a very thoughtful message on Instagram, but you still managed to attract online abuse. Can you explain?
Yeah, I got back on the coach and just going through my messages, wanted to reply back to family and friends, to be honest, and then obviously popped across and seen on Instagram I was getting racially abused as well. And it's just like straight after the game that's happened, someone's felt the need to come online and do that. So yeah, that made me angry, to be honest. And it's just like, why would you want to do that?
If you had a direct line to people like that, what would you say to them?
If you're going to be online, you're going to be on social media, there's no point abusing players. Like, just use it for the right reasons, don't use it for the wrong reasons. That's what I would say. Can
you explain actually what, looking at messages and seeing that, how it impacts you?
Yeah, like it's tough mentally. Like, I'm just a normal black man who loves playing football, loves family and friends, and yeah, you feel the need to racially abuse them. It just doesn't make sense. There's no purpose, and everyone wants to know why you feel like that's the right thing to do. So yeah, it's pretty frustrating, but yeah, something needs to be done, like I say.
I suppose it impacts every person in a different way. Does it impact you psychologically in any way?
I don't think it does. I feel like I'm mentally really tough, and you never want to see these things happen to you, but at the same time, it's not going to stop me for what I've worked from all my life to be a footballer and enjoy. So I know it comes with ups and downs, but this shouldn't be part of the downs for sure.
The Lionesses during the Euros, who suffered similar abuse online, decided to stop taking the knee, which was their statement. The Premier League is going to carry on doing that, focused, but they're going to carry on. Do you think that should carry on?
Yeah, I definitely think it should carry on. I feel like it's a campaign that started, and I feel like with everything happening now, I feel like we still need to do it. We need to make a statement, like Black Lives Do Matter. So yeah, definitely want to continue that.
And you obviously were born in the UK and grew up in the UK. Do you see the sort of abuse, or did you experience the sort of abuse you're getting now, or have had recently, as you were growing up?
Yeah, it's funny because my mum, when everything happened, was telling me a story when I was young in nursery, and a kid told me that I was ugly because of my skin colour, and I went back home, said to my mum, like, this is what the kids told me, and my mum was like, never ever believe anybody that says that you're beautiful, you're kind inside out, so never let that affect you. So I've had it as a kid, but as a kid you don't really know what's going on, but I feel like now, like, I understand, and it's not right. It's just not right.
And obviously it isn't football's problem, it goes way beyond that, but football has great influence, doesn't it? No. Football can influence the way people behave.
100%. I feel like we've got so many good role models in the Premier League who set an example for everyone, so I feel like everyone just needs to follow in that lead, whether it's fans, whether it's players. Like, I feel like we just need to stand together when things like this happen, which everyone has, and just continue.
When you talk about standing together, would you ever consider walking off a pitch, for example?
I wouldn't want to. I feel like my team are always going to support me throughout an incident like this, which they did, and I would never want to jeopardize a game for that. But I feel like if nothing's changing, it could come to that.
Wayne Rooney said this week in his podcast that he thinks clubs maybe should be fined or even have points deducted. Do you think that's the way we could go?
I feel like if things aren't changing, I feel like that could be something to look at, but I feel like that might be a bit far-fetched, but who knows? I mean, if nothing changes, then that is something to look at.
The boss of the Premier League told me last week that he thinks that football has moved a bit, and things are better. Do you agree with that?
I feel like it is, and to a certain extent, but then I feel like there's always moments like this that happen throughout the season, whether it might be once or twice. It shouldn't happen at all. So it has to a certain extent, but I feel like we still go back to incidents like this happening and punishment not being maximal enough for those that are committing these saying these offensive words and just being racist. I feel like I said, I feel like we need to do more in terms of punishment.
How much do you hope that what you've just been through may kickstart something that returns something more positive?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the whole purpose of this. I feel like I want to show for myself and for other players like they can be strong through this, like have the right support around them and just be strong mentally. Like it's always tough when you get racially abused, but you just have to stay strong and pray to God always.
And do you think that the publicity around this incident will deter people within stadium?
I'd like to think so. I hope it does, but if it doesn't, then it just shows that what we're doing, well, the Premier League are doing, it's not enough, and there's more that needs to be done. So I hope it does. Presumably,
you don't want this incident to define your season, and you proved that by how you performed at Anfield.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want this situation to just be the face of my whole season. I feel like it's going to be a good season. We've got a good team around us. So I feel like I just want to be positive, put this away, and continue with a good season, hopefully.
You talk about your mental strength. Some players who've gone through what you've been through might not find it so easy. What would you say to them?
Find support. You've got family, you've got friends to talk to, you've got the PFA, you've got the Football Association as well. So I feel like if someone is going through a tough time with racial abuse, there's so many support lines that you can use to get help.
And when you go back onto the pitch tomorrow, it's something that won't cross your mind?
No, it won't cross my mind. I just want to enjoy the game of football, get some goals and play with a smile on my face. So no, it won't affect me.
And what would your message to the wider football family be about this?
Just want to say thank you for everyone that supported me through this. I really do appreciate all my family, all my friends, my teammates, the football world. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay united.
And looking forward to the rest of the season, do you have personal ambitions?
Yeah, I always have personal ambitions. I always write it down for myself, and I like to keep that quiet, and then it comes out at the end of the season, so hopefully I get them.
You made a good start.
Thank you. I have made a good start, and I want to continue that. So yeah, it's a long old season. There's going to be ups and downs, but always have to be prepared for that.
And of course there's Ghana too.
Yes, internationals. We've got World Cup qualifiers coming up, so looking forward to that as well, going back home to see some family and friends and then hopefully getting 2 wins.
And if you had one final message about the incident, how it impacted you, what would it be?
We need to stay united. We need to make sure if it happens to players, they're vocal about it. They don't hide it away, they don't shy away. And yeah, we've got a big unit of support from players, from the PFA and the FA, like I said, so we just utilise them.
Don't accept it, confront it.
100%, 110%.